Hi there, my name is Anita Adefuye, CEO and founder of Advanced and Fulfilled Coaching Company, and I help racialized professionals advance their careers, establish their identities, and live fulfilled lives in Canada. So, in one of my last videos where I talked about things that you can negotiate for in addition to salaries, one of the things that I mentioned was professional development. And I'm glad that people have been engaging. So, thank you if you've watched the video, if you've left me a comment or even just provided me feedback privately. I really appreciate you. You are part of the reasons why I do what I do. And I got a question back, and I just thought that there was some value in there'll be value in answering that question for the benefit of everybody. And the question was, how do you negotiate for professional development opportunities in a job offer? Now, there's a bit of a backstory before you can even do that, right? Before you ask for professional development in a job offer as part of your negotiations, one of the things you want to do is even before you get to that point, you should have done some research. So, number one, you should have done some research to see the company's culture and values. Are they people that are committed to employee development and growth? And sometimes you can learn this by either reaching out to people who work in the organizations, having coffee chats with them to understand how they've seen the company add value to them and invest in their professional development. So you get to have an idea and you know the kind of professional opportunities, development opportunities that you can ask for. Number two, you want to know the needs, your needs, and the needs of the organization and the needs of the role. Do you know the objectives of that organization? So let me give you an example. So if an organization, for instance, is moving from so let's say if they're looking to acquire more if they're looking to expand acquire more companies and do acquisitions, just throwing something out of my head. But let's say they're doing something brand new, right? You want to understand how your role fits within that objective, the overall objective of the organization, of your division, your department, or whatever it's called. Do you know what it takes within how your division contributes and how that role will contribute? Now, typically speaking, in a job description, they'll tell you the kinds of skill, knowledge, education, experiences that they're looking for. So let's assume that one of the experiences that they've asked for is project management, but then they're implementing brand new changes across the organization and whatnot. And your department, for instance, is responsible for championing that change. One of the things you can ask for in course of negotiating for professional development is to see, I observe that these are the objectives of the organization. Now, first of all, you ask the question. First, you ask the question, what is your, you ask the question around what are their commitments to to individuals' professional development and growth and career growth and development. When you ask that question, the next thing you want to then add on to it is when you're now doing the negotiation is, so I observe that these are the objectives of your company and whatnot. And I also observe that there are these changes that seem to be happening within the organization and that this role plays in this space. Now, given this, and I know that you had mentioned that you do have professional development budgets or opportunities for employees. Knowing all of this, would you be open to considering me taking a, let's say, change management certification as part of on the job when I get in, so that I can use that to advance the needs of the organization. I can add that to what I already have in project management to help advance the objectives of the organization. So those are kind of the ways that you want to position yourself, right? But to position yourself in that way, you have to understand, what does the company need and what do you need, because it also has to align. You're not going to just take certification for certification sake. Now, if they offer a certification that you feel is not aligned to your objectives, be flexible enough to take it. I would always recommend, because you never know, and no knowledge is wasted. And then you start to look for key skill transferences or knowledge transference in that educational opportunity to that. So you understand your needs, you understand the company needs, so that you can negotiate that properly. And then you want to now put that, and that's what will help you put that into a proposal and into the ask that you are making. Because when you know what the company needs, you know what you need, you know where they come together, you can put those things together into what you need. Now, the other thing you want to do is be confident, because if you're not confident, whether you're asking for a salary increase, whether you're asking for additional vacation time, whatever it is that you're negotiating for, with negotiation comes confidence, right? And sometimes, even if you choose to accept whatever it is, even in your acceptance, accept your head held high, because you want to accept in a way that you know the decisions that you made and the thought process that went into accepting that offer, but you don't want to ever put yourself in a position, in a seeming position of weakness. So be confident of what you're asking for. Now, when you're now at the negotiation table, haven't done the research, having done all of that, you now want to sell the need. And that's where understanding what the company needs and what you need come in to say, I believe that this is an organization that is committed to employees develop when I say economic growth, employees career growth and development. And I am someone who am also committed to meeting the objectives and needs of the organization. I understand, especially if maybe, let's assume if maybe there's something you're saying they can't bulge on. I understand that you can't bulge on this, but would you be willing to consider that I come in and I take XYZ trainings because I believe that it will add value to the organization, but also contribute to my personal, to my growth and development as an individual, right? So that's how you're going to position it. But it starts not at the point where you're trying to negotiate, but before. It starts with you understanding, and then you're sort of almost working it in even during the interview questions to ask, and that's something that I'll soon start sharing on. But when you're talking about when you're asking interview questions, one of the questions you always want to ask is what their training budgets look like, and or how they commit, examples of how they commit to employees growth and development. That will give you the cue of what they can and cannot commit to, so that when you're at that negotiation table, you know what you can and cannot ask for. I hope this helps you. Please, always, as always, thank you so much for sharing. And you want more tips on how to advance in your career and even just overall personal development, don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Advanced and Fulfilled. Don't forget to catch additional videos on YouTube. Anita Defuye is the name that you're looking for. I hope to see you around, and I'm committed to your success, not just in your career but overall success. Thank you so much, and take care.